So this is a section on navigating the book. We wanted to spend just a few minutes telling you a little bit about truly just how this book is organized, how it lays out, just point out a couple of features to you. We were very happy that Heinemann was willing to let us use pretty important real estate of the book, which is the inside front cover. And you might take a look at that inside front cover pretty early on. It gives you a quick overview of all 6 of the signposts, the clues that actually help kids find those signposts in text, and then finally what we call the anchor question, the question that kids ought to ask once they've looked at the signpost or found the signpost. As you look through just the table of contents, we want you to see that the book is really divided into 3 major parts: the questions we pondered, the signposts we found, and the lessons we teach. When you get to part 1, the questions we pondered, take a look at any one of those 10 questions, and at the end of each of those you'll see a series of prompts or questions, additional questions that we think are worth exploring in your own school with your own professional learning community. When you move into the signposts we found, you'll see that that ends with a series of questions and answers, and those are questions that we had ourselves as we actually started teaching these signposts, and the answers that we finally came up with on our own, and therefore we think they're questions you might have as well. And then the last part of the book, the lessons we teach, actually gives you the mentor text for teaching each of the 6 signposts and shows you how we would move through each of those lessons step by step to them. We also want you to know that in the back there are a series of templates that you can use in all sorts of ways. And those templates, most of them were prepared by teachers who have been helping us work with these signpost lessons. And we really appreciate them taking the time to share their templates with us so that we could share them in turn with you. Those are also up at the Notice and Note signpost at the Heinemann webpage. When you get to the very back inside cover, it's another great piece. The teacher that's down in the bottom left-hand corner is Jen Ochoa. She's a teacher at a public school in New York City. Jen led us into her classroom early on to start teaching the lessons, and she had really incredibly valuable information to share, and she pushed our thinking tremendously. What she shared with you here on this back page are the actual Notice and Note charts she's created for her classroom, because we think that one important part of teaching these lessons, the signpost lessons, is not to do it on a PowerPoint, but to actually create charts that can stay up in the classroom. The kids on the back cover, just a quick shout out to them. These are children in Sheridan, Arkansas, and work with a couple of different times. They were super kids. All of the kids throughout this book that are pictures with us are either from Sheridan, Arkansas, Akron, Ohio, Orange County, Florida, which is the Orlando area, or up in Jen Ochoa's classroom in New York City, and most of the teachers are also from Sheridan, Arkansas, or New York City. So this book was a collaborative effort, not only between the 2 of us, but also us working with a lot of teachers from a lot of different areas. One last thing just to talk about sort of the navigation issues of this book. We hope you'll take time to read the pages that open each of the major sections. There you'll find a quote from someone that's important to us, and we hope you'll enjoy reading those. We've dedicated the book to Louise Rosenblatt, and we had real specific reasons for doing that.
Now, Louise was dedicated to several important ideas, and one of the most important was that responsible, self-reliant readers are critical to the preservation of a democratic society. She thought that the reader had to be trained to encounter texts with some rigor and attention and a sense of responsibility for making sense out of what the text offered, bringing it to bear upon the reader's life and bringing the reader's life to bear upon the text, and in the transaction to create sharper, refined, good reading, because good reading is what enables us to preserve a democratic society.
So thanks for joining us as we talked a little bit about just the navigational issues of this book. I'm Kylene Beers.
And I'm Bob Probst.